You slip out of your mother, somewhere in Southeast Asia. Other newborns pile on top of you, as your mom gives birth to two more. You're blind and can't move, so your mother grips you in her mouth and carries you to a hidden spot. She goes back and forth until all three of you are lying together in the same den. A month passes and your eyes finally open. You start walking, bumping into your siblings and wrestling with them. But whenever you wander too far from your mother, she picks you up by the scruff and drops you back near the others. At 2 months old, she finally takes you outside. She leads you and your siblings to the shallow edge of the water. Fishing cats are one of the few cats that swim well, so she begins teaching you early. She walks ahead, looking back often, while you splash clumsily behind her. Each step forces your body to adjust, with your legs kicking against water instead of the soil. By 3 months old, she takes you on your first hunt. You crouch beside her at the riverbank and watch as she dives headfirst into the water. She bursts back up with a fish thrashing in her jaws, then drags it to shore. But you don't hunt yet. You only watch and learn. You and your siblings turn your attention to a frog that's jumping nearby. All three of you chase it together, but it jumps high and disappears into the grass, leaving you with nothing. Your first hunting trip ends in failure, but now you understand what your life will depend on. Skip forward and you're 4 months old now. The shallow edge of the river is no longer enough. Your mother leads you and your siblings into deeper water. She waits at the bank while you push forward with your head just above the surface. Each stroke forces you to kick harder, learning how to move against the current instead of standing in still pools. Your siblings swim beside you. One splashes toward your tail and bites lightly, then swims away. The third jumps on top of both of you, and all three of you sink for a moment before scrambling back to the surface. This play fighting isn't random. Every push and shove forces your muscles to adapt to swimming and holding balance in water. 2 more months pass, and you're now 6 months old. Your mother still stays close, but she no longer feeds you every day. You need to catch your own food, even if you fail at first. Fishing cats hunt differently from most cats. Instead of waiting on land, you walk into the water and use your paws. The soft pads break the surface quietly, tapping to send ripples across the river. You stand still until one swims close enough, then lunge. Your claws spread wide, hooking into the scales as you drag it out. The fish twists violently, but you grip tighter and slam it onto the bank. This is your first successful catch. It's small, but it proves you can feed yourself. Your mother watches from the reeds. She doesn't intervene. From now on, she knows you can survive if you learn fast enough. You're 9 months old now. Your 2 brothers leave first, traveling far from your mother to establish their own territories. You stay behind for a few days longer, but the time comes when you also have to leave. Fishing cats are solitary, and once you reach this age, there's no place for you beside your mother. You can hunt on your own now, but finding food is only part of survival. You also need land to claim. Without a territory, you have no shelter, no consistent hunting ground, and no chance to breed later in life. You linger at the edge of your mother's range for a short time, stealing fish from familiar waters. But eventually, you push further, searching for land to call your own. The first barrier is a river that cuts through the forest. To hold territory beyond it, you'll have to cross it. You step into the water and begin swimming. Halfway across, a shape slices toward you from upstream. It's an otter. They share the same prey and the same rivers as you, which makes them one of your main competitors. This one doesn't hesitate. It lunges with its teeth out and clamps onto your shoulder. You shake violently, trying to throw it off. Your claws scrape across its side, forcing it to release for a moment, but it circles back and rams into you again. The fight drags you under. Both of you roll in the current, biting and clawing until your lungs burn. You finally twist free and kick hard toward the bank. The current drags at your body, pulling you sideways, but you keep swimming with your head just above the surface. And at last, you drag yourself onto the mud, gasping with water dripping from your mouth. The otter stays in midstream, blocking the path. And as you catch your breath, you realize survival isn't only about strength, it's about the world around you and how it can support life. How humans can and need to help to ensure that wild animals, like the fishing cat, have a chance. That's where my friends at Planet Wild come in, who I've partnered with for this video. They're a community-based nature protection organization, and the way they work is simple. Think of it as crowdfunding for nature. Every month, their 13,000 plus members fund a conservation project. Whether that's bringing back endangered species, protecting oceans, or restoring forests. What I love about it is that you actually see your impact. Planet Wild documents all their projects with a video report that you can find right here on YouTube to show you exactly what your contribution made possible. For example, one of their projects focused on Germany's Harz forest. Climate change had devastated it. After a historic drought in 2018, more than 80% of the trees were dead. Planet Wild stepped in, funding the planting of 5,000 climate-resilient trees to bring the forest back to life and give it a future again. It's the kind of work that ensures animals like the fishing cat actually have a future, with wetlands and forests that can sustain them. Personally, I think that's worth supporting, which is why I'm a member myself. It's easy to feel powerless when it comes to saving nature, but Planet Wild gives us a way to act together and see results. So if you want to join this growing movement, check out the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. You're free to give whatever amount, big or small. You can start for as little as the price of a sandwich. The first 100 people to use my code, BOUND10, will get their first month covered by me. After that, you can cancel anytime, no questions asked. And don't forget to watch Planet Wild's project restoring the Harz Forest in Germany. A few weeks later, you circle the river and find a crossing point. The water runs slower here, and you manage to swim across without being attacked. On the far side, the forest opens into a patch of wetlands. It's rich with reeds, fish, and birds. This is the kind of territory a fishing cat can survive in, so you begin to settle. You slip into the water and start hunting. Catfish swim in the shallows, their whiskers brushing the mud as they feed. They grow larger than most river fish. They are heavy with muscle and fat, and catching one means food for days. You crouch low in the reeds, then dive. The catfish jerks hard, but your claws sink in and you drag it back toward shore. As soon as you step onto the bank with the fish hanging from your jaws, a fully grown leopard jumps out. You drop the fish, but it doesn't even take a look at it. It wants you. You turn around and sprint into the water. Leopards hunt cats like you when the chance comes, and size alone gives it the advantage. You dive under the surface and keep swimming while the leopard chases behind you, waiting for when you'll need to take a breath. Then an idea comes to your mind. You circle back, lunge upward, and clamp onto its front leg. Your jaws sink in, and you yank it down into the water. It starts shaking and spinning around like crazy as panic sets in. Each second underwater weakens it further, until it tears free and scrambles back to the bank, coughing and retreating into the reeds. You swim to the other side, alive, but shaken. You've lost the catfish, but for the first time. You've defeated someone much stronger than you. Skip forward, and you're 3 years old now. A male finds you by following the scent marks you've left in the reeds. He doesn't want food or territory. He wants to mate. You try to run, but he chases you down and clamps his jaws into the back of your neck. He mounts and breathes quickly, biting harder each time you resist. This happens again and again over the next several days until he finally leaves. Males don't stay. They never help raise the young. 2 months later, you give birth to a litter of 3 kittens. They are blind and helpless, unable to hunt or defend themselves. You hide them deep in the bushes where their scent won't be as easy to find and let them drink your milk. The first weeks are spent moving back and forth between your den and the river. You leave the kittens behind while you hunt fish, then return quickly before they can be discovered. Fishing cats survive by ambush, and you rely on the same tricks as before. You step into the shallow water, tap the surface with your paw, then strike fast when a fish comes close. Every meal you catch is swallowed quickly so you can get back to the den. A month later, the kittens begin walking. Their legs are unsteady, but they follow when you step out of the den. You lead them to the edges of your territory, showing them where to drink, where to hide, and how to move without making much sound. They still can't hunt, but each trip prepares them for what's next. For now, they trust you to bring food and safety. But in this territory, predators watch for mistakes. One wrong move and the litter will not survive. 3 months later, your kittens are old enough to follow you to the water. It's their first hunt, and you show them how fishing cats catch prey without that much effort. You step into the shallow water and tap your paw across the surface. The ripples spread, tricking fish into thinking an insect has landed. When one swims up, you strike fast and pull it out. The fish is small, so you drop it back, showing the kittens that not every catch is worth keeping. You walk deeper, and the kittens follow closely. This time you teach them how to dive. You push under, bounce from the mud at the bottom, then swim back up to the surface. But when you rise, only 2 kittens are waiting. The third is gone. You dive again, scanning the water. At first you think it might have followed and lost its way, but then you freeze. Below you is a crocodile with its jaws stained with blood. Your kitten is already dead. Before you can react, the crocodile surges upward. Its jaws open wide and it swallows another kitten in a single snap. Then it sinks back into the dark. You don't hesitate. The last kitten is still alive, drifting near the surface. You rush forward and grab it by the scruff just as the crocodile bursts upward again. Its jaws close so near that the water explodes around you. You twist aside and kick hard, pulling your kitten out of reach. You drag yourself onto the bank, gasping with your kitten still dangling from your mouth. 2 of your litter are dead. Only 1 remains, and keeping it alive will be harder than ever. Skip forward again, and you're 5 years old now. The 1 kitten that survived has long since left your territory. You've been alone for months, hunting and patrolling without anyone by your side. When mating season returns, another male arrives following the scent you've left behind. This time you don't run. After losing most of your first litter, you don't want more kittens. So when he steps closer, you stay still and face him head on. He lowers his head, expecting you to submit like before, but instead you lunge. Your claws scrape across his face and leave deep cuts. He answers with a bite, clamping into your shoulder, and both of you roll into the mud. The fight is brutal. His body is heavier, and he forces you down with his jaws locked tight. You twist hard, driving your claws into his belly until he jerks back. Then you leap again, biting deep into his throat. He shakes violently, but your jaws hold. Each kick weakens until his body goes limp. When it's over, you drag his body aside and start feeding. Fishing cats eat whatever they kill, and his flesh is no different from prey. So you tear strips from his side, swallowing quickly. Soon the sound of wings surrounds you. Crows gather in the trees, then drop down one by one. They peck at the body beside you, tearing at scraps of meat, but you don't chase them away. The male is gone, but the season isn't over. More males are moving across the wetlands, and sooner or later, one of them will find your scent again. You're 8 years old now. After circling through your territory, you find something strange at the edge of the forest. An open field stretches ahead, and scattered across it are dozens of chickens. They move kinda weird, just scratching at the ground. They are nothing like the fish and birds you're used to hunting. To you, it looks like the easiest meal you've ever seen. You crouch low and creep forward. The chickens barely notice you until you burst from the grass. You strike one in a single pounce and clamp your jaws around its neck. The others scatter, but you don't chase them. You drag the kill to the side, tear it apart quickly and eat. The meat is soft and easy to swallow, so you leave the rest for later and return to your territory. The next day you come back. The chickens are still there and none of them can outrun you. You lunge again, catch another, and pin it to the ground. This time the bird screams and its wings flap violently. The sound echoes across the field. You rip into it, but footsteps approach fast from a distance. You freeze, trying to decide whether to run or finish eating. Then the sound comes. A single crack. Your body jolts. Pain floods through you for an instant, then everything goes black. You got shot by a farmer. Thanks again to my friends at Planet Wild for sponsoring. Join through the link or QR code, get your first month covered by me, and see your impact in under 30 days. Also, check out their YouTube channel to watch the latest project. Life as a fishing cat might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.